So out of all the big teams in the Marvel Comics that got turned into film franchises, I think we can all agree that Fantastic Four definitely got the short end of the stick. X-Men literally revolutionized comic book movies like forever. Spider-Man was literally an instant classic. Fantastic Four came out and it was alright. And then the MCU came to be and everybody just kind of lost their minds and forgot about them. I can say that I've always kind of had a soft spot for the Fantastic Four. I always really loved their backstories and power sets, and they were all in all just like an interesting team. And I feel like the studios just never could really get them right. The original duology I think is really awesome though. They're pretty cheesy, but so is everything else back in the day. I think these movies had like the perfect cast. Like this Reed, this Reed was literally a spitting image of the comics. Like, we cannot get any better than this. Everything in these was done great. Aside from some of the creative decisions, I still think this was a great attempt at the characters. I just think that everyone kind of just forgot about these within the midst of all the other comic book movies that were coming out at the time. Also, this Silver Surfer was freaking amazing. I don't even want to waste my breath talking about this abomination, from the insanely bad pacing to the movie feeling like it was about everything but the Fantastic Four somehow.
What is that?
Yeah, Chicken Nugget Man. At this point, the Fantastic fan base is just feeling like my brothers and sisters struggling with the Transformers franchise. They had no hope until there was hope. The MCU had announced that they was cooking up a Fantastic Four movie, so we sat and we waited and we waited and waited until we received this. By the time I'm recording this, the trailer came out yesterday and everyone was going ballistic over this thing, and rightfully so. We even got the Thing in his trench coat and fedora. Like, yo, we won. We literally won. This is it. The movie's already my favorite MCU movie, bro. But anyways, in this video, we're going to be going over and talking about some things that this trailer did that ensures that this film is going to be different from the rest, and maybe even change the MCU. All right, so the first thing... Okay, y'all can read. I don't know why I was about to repeat. The best thing that I think a comic book movie ever could do is have its own directorial flair. With all the other movies coming out nowadays that just have these beautiful, like, directorial flares, like, you can tell who made who, and then when a comic book movie comes out, everybody is just kind of like,
we do not care.
Think of like your favorite comic book movies, or like the best of the best comic book movies. The Batman, the Spider-Verse duology, the Guardians trilogy, Madam Web. These movies, all of these movies are so good because each and every director has their own special thing that they bring to them. Not gonna lie, when I saw this trailer and saw this special sauce that they was cooking up, I was just as surprised as everybody when they saw what Kanye's girl was wearing at the Grammy Awards. The reason a lot of audiences get superhero fatigue is, well, half of the MCU movies that have been coming out within the last decade all feel like the same movie and all feel mad formulaic. It's almost like you can literally guess where the movie is gonna end up. This, partially for me, is why I'm not excited for the new Captain America, like, at all, because it literally looks like every other Captain America or every other Marvel movie that has ever come out. The colors of these films and the cinematography and everything just feels incredibly dull, and they fall into a line of others. But when they have their own directors that have some flair and pizzazz and spice things up, it sets them apart from the rest, leading to it becoming almost an instant classic. Now, I'm not gonna sit over here and say that First Steps is gonna become an instant classic. Yeah, I'm lying. This is already gonna be an instant classic. I can tell from the overall toning of the trailer to the comic book accurate designs. Yo, we got the freaking unibrow, guys. The freaking around the head unibrow. How much better can this get? The movie is also taking inspos from things that have worked in the past that I think is incredible. From the Jetsons to the Incredibles, you can see the way that the project is just oozing with creativity and inspirations. Combining all of these things to give the audience a completely original experience right when we step foot in that theater, utilizing the price of admission incredibly well. The casting for this was something that I was really worried about. I think everybody can agree on that. I was one of the people who were initially disappointed that John wouldn't be coming back to reprise his role, but man, Pedro does look really good for this role. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see him stretch at all, but I'm sure they're just cooking that up and saving it for the movie. Right when I heard that the dude from The Bear was going to be playing the Thing, I already know that these suckers, they knew what they was doing. I decided to step back and be like, all right, y'all got this. I'm going to go ahead and step back. Also, I hear a lot of people complaining about like how he moves and sounds. I don't really know how you guys expect him to be moving. Like, this sucker's a pile of rocks. He's gonna move it naturally. And if you just want to say otherwise, call me up and introduce me to your homeboy that's made out of rocks and we can compare how they move, all right? Also, the voice, I can kind of get why a lot of people are kind of like thrown off by this. I know a lot of people want him to have like a more gruff voice, and me personally, I actually love the more human voice. I think it reflects him as a character really well. Like, yeah, he's scary on the outside and looks like an alien, but on the inside, he's just like a big softie, and like the soft voice, I think, works for him. And I'm really glad that they took him in this direction. But I could see why people would be thrown off by it. Vanessa Kirby, I think, also looks great as Invisible Woman. What's pretty crazy is that there's literally a Mezco figure that like looks exactly like her. So I wonder if there's any correlation there or not. I like her dialogue. I like that she seems to be holding the team together and reassuring Reed. So I like the direction that they're taking her. Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, though, was, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he was probably the one I was the most worried about. I'm not really fond of him. I think he's an incredible actor, but every character that he's ever played, I just didn't really care for. I didn't like him in Stranger Things or Quiet Place very much, but I did think he did incredible in Gladiator 2, and I really loved him in that. I think he looks identical to Johnny, especially in the earlier comics, and like they got this down. The team overall in that Money Shot, they look freaking amazing. From the suits to the actors portraying them, yo, they cooked with this, bro. Like, this is great. I can't wait for this. All right, now for the last part. This is gonna be a really quick section, but I think they really played this well. I definitely think that the movie is gonna do really well at the box office because this is the first time seeing the 4 in like 10 years, and they seem to be catching a lot of new eyes with this trailer, and a lot of new fans are starting to come out, and a lot of the old fans are starting now to come out of hiding because now it's not embarrassing to say that you actually like Mr. Fantastic. Not only that, but they decided to put Galactus in the trailer to get even more people excited, along with Marvel rivals like cooking up everything. They really just brought this out during the perfect time. But with the way that the MCU is going, we really need a lot of reassurance that this movie is going to be like worth the $30 we're going to be blowing. Madam Web, as an example, definitely not only reassured us, but they gave us an incredible theater experience. I'm just saying this movie has a lot to live up to. The new Captain America tried to do this, and yeah, nobody really cares. Showing Red Hulk is not enough to show us that the movie getting denied 4 times is gonna be good. Anyways, I just thought that they like already made a beautiful looking trailer, and then them adding Galactus, I think they just played this really well, and they're trying to get a lot of people to get excited about this, and I just think it's working really well. But yeah, overall, I can confidently say that July is gonna be a great year for comic book movies. I personally am low-key more excited for Fantastic Four than I am for Superman, but I think both of these films are going to be great. I'm curious to see what you guys think, so yeah, let me know in the comments if you're more excited for Superman or Fantastic Four, or the rumored Madam Web sequel.
Say that again?
I'm an inventor.